What do you do with an old working computer monitor that you're no longer using? Well, instead of leaving it to gather up dust in storage or throwing it away, I'm going to show you how I turn my old monitor into a fully functioning TV. And the best part is, you might already have everything you need to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to show you how I give my old monitor a new lease of life. Welcome to the show, GV Tech. I'm G Veda, and without further ado, let's get to it. So let's get started. The first thing you'll need is an old working computer monitor. I'm using this 7-year-old BenQ 21-inch monitor that I really don't use anymore. It's actually a pretty decent monitor for something that's been sitting around for years. It has 2 HDMI ports, so connecting anything to it is really straightforward. It also has a VGA port for older devices, along with a line-in and headphone jack. And interestingly, it even has 2 built-in 1-watt speakers. They are not exactly going to win an award for sound quality, but they do work. For this setup though, I'm going to connect a Bluetooth speaker to give us much better sound. And that's the great thing about this project. You don't need a brand new monitor or anything particularly fancy. As long as your monitor is working and has HDMI input, you should be good to go. The second thing you'll need is a TV streaming stick with an HDMI output. I'm using a 3rd generation Amazon Fire Stick for this, but you can use something like a Roku streaming stick or another HDMI streaming device. The idea is pretty simple. The streaming stick provides all the smart TV functionality, while the monitor acts as the display. This is an old Fire Stick, and you can probably tell by just how beaten up it looks. The final thing you need is a Bluetooth speaker. I'm using one I already have lying around, and this is going to take care of the sound. You don't necessarily need an expensive speaker either. As long as it's Bluetooth compatible and works with your streaming device, it should do the job. Now it's time to connect everything. I've plugged the monitor into the mains and connected the Fire Stick into one of the HDMI ports on the back. The Fire Stick also needs power, so I have connected the USB power cable. And because I'm not relying on the monitor's built-in speakers, I have connected my external speaker to the headphone output on the back of the monitor. So that's pretty much everything connected. Now let's turn the monitor on and see what happens. Hopefully, the monitor's HDMI port will automatically detect the Fire Stick. And there we go. The Fire Stick is showing up on the monitor. And just like that, we've taken what was essentially an old computer monitor and we've already got the beginnings of a TV.
There you go, Jack. Ramirez is incredibly gun-shy in there. How you think?
Now that we've got the monitor sorted, let's complete the trifecta and sort out the sound. Not all computer monitors have built-in speakers, and even when they do, the sound quality isn't always great. I initially connected the Bluetooth speaker to the monitor using an aux cable, which works perfectly well, but connecting it directly to the Fire Stick via Bluetooth is much more convenient. There are no cables running between the speaker and the monitor, which means I can place the speaker wherever I want. I just go to the settings in the Fire Stick TV, select Bluetooth devices, put the speaker into pairing mode, and select it when it appears, and that's it. The Fire Stick handles the picture, the Bluetooth speaker handles the sound, and our old monitor is starting to look more like a TV. Now we have a fully working TV. I've taken an old computer monitor that was basically sitting around unused, connected an Amazon Fire Stick, added a Bluetooth speaker, and I've turned the whole thing into a TV setup. I can now sit back, pick up the Fire TV remote, and browse through my apps and channels just like I would with a normal TV.
It would be difficult to get them to stick to the floor, let alone the ceiling, and we don't have this.
All of the iron in this foundry came from exploding stars, from gigantic explosions. All of it. All the iron you see everywhere came from exploding stars. And in fact, all the...
And because the Fire TV stick is connected to the internet, I can stream content without needing to connect the monitor to a computer. Now, I think this is actually a really useful way of giving old technology a second life. You can use this setup in a bedroom if you don't want to buy another TV. You could use it in a spare room, a kitchen, or anywhere else where you might want a TV but don't necessarily want to spend money on a new one. And if you already own the monitor, a Fire Stick and a Bluetooth speaker, you might not need to spend any money at all. Overall, I'm happy with how this turned out. What was once an unused monitor is now a perfectly usable TV. It's not going to replace my main television obviously, but for a spare room, bedroom, office, or even just having an extra screen around the house, it's a really simple solution. And I think this is a great example of why you shouldn't always throw away your old tech. Sometimes all you need is the right accessory to give it a completely new purpose. Walking into any record shop, you'll see various turntables at different price points, from complicated hi-fi setups to simple record players. So what do you think? Would you turn an old monitor into a TV like this, or would you just buy a new television? Let me know in the comments. And if you have an old piece of tech sitting around and you don't know what to do with them, let me know what it is. It might give me some ideas for my next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And until next time, be good.